Hi guys, my name is Lucy reporting from Japan and welcome back to my channel. As I have posted several videos, actually 3 videos I remember last December, today I'm going to talk about the update of what happened to the paper on dragonflies authored by Prince Hisahito, the second in line to the Japanese throne, and the son of Prince Akishino and the nephew of Emperor Naruhito. I have discussed in my previous videos that the dragonfly academic paper written by Prince Hisahito and other professional researchers raises a number of questions and suspicions. For more details on the various questions and suspicions, please refer to the links to my past videos in the description below. In Japan, there are strong press restrictions regarding the Imperial family, and bad information is never reported. And if a member of the Imperial family cheats, it is taboo to correctly point out, saying that, "Your Highness, you're cheating." I mean, it is only members of the Akishino family who cheat, while other members of the Imperial family are mostly clean and not cheated. But now, the Prince Akishino, the father of Prince Hisahito, and his family had strong power because the family had 2 male heirs, even though they are so unethical and no one can stop them from doing whatever they want. So please share and spread this video so that overseas researchers will know about this story. I'm afraid Japanese will not be able to retract a paper written by a member of the Imperial family, even though the paper is filled with suspicions, unless it is brought to the attention of overseas researchers and strong voices from abroad. There are 3 main questions and suspicions from the public. Number 1. To what extent is Hisahito himself involved in this paper? The paper is co-authored by 3 researchers, and Mr. Takuya Kiyoshi, a dragonfly researcher who works for the National Museum of Nature and Science, is involved. And the people's question is, the majority of the paper might be written by Mr. Kiyoshi, not by Prince Hisahito. In fact, Hisahito's name is written as the first author, but the corresponding author is Takuya Kiyoshi. It sounds strange to me. Why does Hisahito not correspond to the paper if he says he wrote the majority of the contents? Some people suspect that the fact that Hisahito's name is listed as first author in this paper is gift authorship or ghostwriting. The reason why Hisahito's paper is under such dishonorable suspicion is that his essay titled Visiting Ogasawara Island, which won a prize 2 years ago, was found to be plagiarized, but he pressured the organizer of the essay contest not to retract the essay and accepted the prize, which drew a great deal of public criticism. His essay was reported as plagiarism in foreign media, but in Japan, the term omission of references was used to make this cheat ambiguously. At the same time, his essay was strongly suspected to be ghostwriting and written by someone working for the Akishino family because his essay had nothing interesting and was just like a tour guidebook. Therefore, it is said that the fact that his boring essay won the second prize was itself a special consideration for the Imperial family. This means that a student who should have won the second prize missed it because of Prince Hisahito. So many people think that he cheated again this time because of his past. But since this paper was co-authored, no one but the authors of the paper can prove the extent of Hisahito's contribution to the paper. What people feel is problematic is that it is cheating to give them impression that Hisahito is excellent in a paper he wrote jointly with one of the leading dragonfly researchers in Japan. And it is rumored that the reason he, a high school student, published his paper with a prominent researcher at this time is that he plans to use the paper to gain a recommendation for admission to the University of Tokyo, the highest academic institution in Japan. It is an abuse of imperial privilege for academically mediocre high school student to use his position as a member of the imperial family to gain an advantage in gaining admission to a university with the help of a prominent researcher. Number 2. It has been pointed out that there are suspicions that various image manipulations have been performed on the dragonfly photos and that there are obvious errors in the paper. With regards to image manipulation in my previous videos, I have talked about endangered damselflies in the area where this survey was conducted. But people have pointed out the possibility of various image manipulation in the images of other species of dragonflies as well. These include the suspicion that dead dragonflies, not live ones, are being photographed to make them look alive, and the suspicion that the background of dragonfly photos have been photoshopped. Others point out that the two photos seem to have been taken in the exact same spot by chance, even though they are of completely different species, different situations. And it was also pointed out that the dragonflies are misidentified as male and female, and that the names of the plants are incorrect. Number 3, suspicion that dragonfly in the Akasaka Imperial Garden, the research site, were artificially manipulated. This is not a suspicion but a fact. According to multiple media reports in September 2016, the fact that the Akishino family had released larvae of dragonfly and released killfishes for their food into artificially created rice paddies in Akasaka Imperial Gardens has been reported. This rice field is said to have been created by Hisahito and his family. The fact that the releasing of insects was conducted by the first author during the dragonfly fauna research period of this paper is a serious violation of research ethics, as it constitutes a deliberate fabrication of the dragonfly fauna. Regarding these 3 questions and suspicions, the first one, as I told earlier, the extent of Hisahito's involvement in this paper cannot be proven by anyone other than 3 authors. But his plagiarism in the past proves his lack of ethics. As in the past, the Japanese media still praises this family no matter what allegations are made against Hisahito and the Akishino family, just as the North Korean media praises Kim Jong-il and Kim Jong-un no matter how cruel they are. However, the spread of social media have enabled the public to know the truth. And like the Me Too movement, more and more people are pointing out that if someone does something wrong, even if it is a member of the imperial family, saying it is wrong. The administrator of a blog called Etcetera Japan is the leading researcher on Hisahito's dragonfly papers. Her blog has received a variety of information from many readers regarding the image manipulation and alleged fabrication of Hisahito's dragonfly paper. Most of the posts are written in Japanese, but they are very interesting. Maybe you can read them in your local languages by Google Translation. In addition, Professor Hirokazu Nishimura, a doctor of science who taught mathematics at Tsukuba University in Japan for a long time, posted various allegations about Hisahito's dragonfly paper on ResearchGate, a social networking site for researchers, with the title, "Oops, Prince Hisahito did it again." There are currently a series of 4 of these articles. It has already been viewed more than 10,000 times, including overseas. The registered users of ResearchGate are researchers from all over the world who belong to universities, medical institutions, and research institutes, and who have published various papers. I heard that there were some views from the University of Tokyo to which Hisahito wants to enter. But how do the people at the University of Tokyo feel about this? Professor Nishimura's articles are written entirely in English and are very organized and easy to understand. So if you would like to know more about what details of this paper are problematic, please take a look at it. The links to Professor Nishimura's articles are listed in the description below. And eventually, the allegation of fraud in Hisahito's dragonfly paper have been pointed out by an overseas researcher. Dr.Elisabeth Bik is interested in the allegation of fraud in this paper and has posted her concerns about this paper on her website, PUBPEER. Please find the links to her concerns in the description below. Dr. Elisabeth Bik is a Netherlands microbiologist and scientific integrity consultant. Dr. Bik is known for her work detecting photo manipulation in scientific publications and identifying over 4,000 potential cases of improper research conduct, including 400 research papers published by authors in China from a research paper mill company. And Dr. Bik was awarded the 2021 John Maddox Prize for outstanding work exposing widespread threats to research integrity in scientific papers. I think that Mr. Takuya Kiyoshi, the corresponding author, and the people at the National Museum of Nature and Science who published this paper should take the fact that Dr. Elisabeth Bik was interested in Prince Hisahito's dragonfly paper very seriously. And I myself have once contacted Mr. Takuya Kiyoshi regarding this paper. Regarding the possibility of image manipulation in the paper, the dragonfly I have talked about in my past videos appears to be already dead, and many people wonder if this dragonfly was ever really alive. I sent an enlarged photo of the questioned dragonfly in their paper to several professional dragonfly researchers overseas and asked for their expert opinion. Then I have received from 2 dragonfly researchers, both of whom said that the image were unclear and quality of the photo are not good, and asked me if they can provide clearer photos. So I sent a text to Mr. Takuya Kiyoshi asking for higher resolution photos of the dragonfly, but he did not respond. After 2 weeks of no response, I resent the email with the same information, but received no response as well. Even though I have emailed him twice, the email address listed as corresponding author. I believe he is responsible for answering people's questions about the paper. I don't understand why a simple question to show a clearer picture of the dragonfly is ignored by the author, since so many people have questions about the picture of the dragonflies. If so many people have doubts, wouldn't the author want to show a clearer image to dispel these doubts? If corresponding author Mr. Kiyoshi said that the dragonfly was definitely alive, he can easily clear the doubt by showing higher resolution photos to prove that the dragonfly was alive and well. In Dr. Elisabeth Bik's article, she is also asking the authors to clarify these concerns by showing higher resolution photos, so the author should do this. And another person contacted the National Museum of Nature and Science and recommended that the paper should be retracted. This is because of the alleged manipulation of the images in the paper, the fact that some of the information is incorrect, and most importantly, the fact that in September 2016, the dragonfly and their food killfish were released into an artificially created rice field, which means that the dragonfly fauna was intentionally faked within this research period, which is a serious violation of research ethics. And the paper made no mention of releasing these insects in September 2016. At the first contact, he expected the National Museum of Nature and Science to respond to his advice in good faith, but the museum replied after a considerable wait. Their reply was that they were aware that the said news reported that larvae of dragonfly and other species collected in the Akasaka Imperial Gardens were caught and released into a rice paddy field, which is also within the same Imperial Gardens. They believe that this is not the case, as they have confirmed that new species were not artificially added from outside the Imperial Gardens, and that the impact on the number of dragonfly species in the dragonfly fauna of the Akasaka Imperial Gardens was minimal. That was their reply. However, the 2016 media report does not mention that the species were collected within Akasaka Imperial Gardens, and they replied that they had confirmed that there was little impact on dragonfly species numbers, but in order to make this confirmation, they would have to compare data from both cases when they released insects and when they did not release insects. It would be physically impossible for them to actually make this comparison, and they can never say that they confirmed that there was little impact. Dissatisfied with the response from the National Museum of Nature and Science, the man tried to inquire further, but to his surprise, his email address was blocked by the museum, and the email he sent was never delivered. How dishonest they are! If the National Museum responds to inquiries from people who point out things that are inconvenient for them by blocking their emails. After receiving a rejection from the National Museum, the man then filed a retract request for the dragonfly paper with the Agency for Cultural Affairs, the agency that oversees the National Museum of Nature and Science, which restored his ability to contact the museum by email. He also emailed the Agency of Cultural Affairs and the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology, requesting their guidance to the National Museum of Nature and Science to retract the fraudulent paper. As of today, various allegations are being made both domestically and internationally regarding the Prince Hisahito's dragonfly paper. And those who are not intimidated by the state power of the imperial family against whom they are dealing and who are pursuing the fraud of this paper are very courageous people, and their activities are truly valuable. In my opinion, I hope that the corresponding author, Mr. Takuya Kiyoshi, should fulfill his responsibility to answer people's questions and suspicions about this paper. And the three authors of this paper or the National Museum of Nature and Science should retract the paper if they can't answer people's questions and suspicions. And I hope that they will never cheat by quietly revising their papers as Prince Hisahito did with his plagiarized essay 2 years ago. Unfortunately, I'm afraid most of the Japanese people no longer believe that Prince Hisahito will respond in the right way, such as admitting his mistake, retracting his paper, and taking the same entrance examination as other students to enter universities in a fair and honest manner. I already know it is wrong to expect Hisahito and the Akishino family to have any sense of ethics or pride and dignity as an imperial family any longer. They are that corrupt. So it will be the universities that accept him that will be questioned about their ethics. The University of Tokyo is currently renovating the Faculty of Agriculture, and it is said that this is to clean up the school building in order to accept Prince Hisahito. And although it is only a rumor, some people say that the money for the renovation is coming from the Prince Akishino as a donation. However, receiving donation and enrolling their children are two completely different things, and no one should be allowed to enroll their children in return for a donation. This is even more so if it is a national university, the highest academic institution in Japan. I hope that all universities in Japan will not admit him simply because he is a member of the Imperial family. Universities should treat Imperial members and commoners equally and accept students who meet the admission requirements. In the end, it is not only the retraction of the paper that the people are now expecting from Prince Hisahito. The Japanese people would rather have this cheating Prince Hisahito retract claim to the throne. And the Japanese people are dissatisfied why the Japanese government does not take away the right of succession to the throne from the Akishino family, who do nothing but cheat on their imperial privileges. And they believe that Princess Aiko, the only daughter of Emperor Naruhito, should be the right heir to the throne and should become the future emperor. I believe that Princess Aiko becoming the next emperor after Emperor Naruhito will uphold the constitution, which states that the existence of the emperor is based on the consensus of the Japanese people as stipulated in Article 1 of the Constitution of Japan. That's all I'd like to say today. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like the video. And if you want to know more truths of Japanese Imperial family, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.